All right, welcome back to the Real Quick with Mike Swick podcast. Today we have Javier Mendez on the show again. One of my most frequent guests, but also one of the best guests. We always have great podcasts. He's going to give updates on Khabib. He's been in Dubai since UFC 254, and he's going to stay in Dubai until like the end of January. So that's pretty much his second home now. So he's been there with the guys and they're training, and I think Khabib's coming in today to do some training, get ready for this upcoming fight in the UAE. So, yeah, let's talk to Jav. All right, Javier, welcome back to the show. My favorite guest ever.
Awesome. I didn't know I was your favorite ever.
Well, you didn't know because you're on like once a week, every 2 weeks.
I thought maybe I was top 10. I thought maybe top 10. I'll take that.
Top 10, top 5, top 1.
Okay.
How's everything going, man? You're in Dubai. You can't seem to leave there. So it's been since 254, and you're still there, and you're planning on staying longer. Like, what's going on?
I am staying until end of January.
Jeez.
We have Khabib's team has 3 guys fighting this week on the UAE Warriors show. It's a great promotion, best show in the Middle East. Thrown by Fawad, the president, who's become a good friend. So Khabib and I are going to be there present to watch 3 Eagle team members. Islam Mabedov is going to be one of the guys. Movlid, which I don't know how to pronounce Movlid's last name, and Shada. I don't know how to pronounce his first name or his last name, but I know Shada. It took me long enough just to get the guys' names.
That's why they got
but
nicknames.
both of those 3 fighting, they're studs, man. Really amazing fighters, and it's going to be an amazing show. I think it's live, too, on the internet, I believe.
I'll check it out. Yeah, I saw that you're going to be a guest there. You and Khabib's going to be a guest at the show and everything.
Yeah, it's the 27th, this Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They throw a great promotion, man, a great promotion. I was very, very, very shocked when I was there the first time how professional it was.
That's awesome. So the guys are all training as normal? The same as before for 254? They're just the same location and everything, just different guys?
No, same guys. They're all the same guys that were here for Khabib's camp, except I didn't train them for this camp. They were home. They trained at home. They only been here about 4 days now, so I have not. I've trained them the 4 days they were here, but I didn't train them for these fights. You know, they already came in ready to go.
But Khabib and Islam are there, right? Didn't Khabib just come in today?
Khabib's coming in today, later. Yeah, he's not here yet. He'll be in later. And Islam Mabedov, not Makhachev, Mabedov. I don't know if Makhachev's coming. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, so he's back in Dagestan right now.
Yeah. And all the whole crew is coming back. We're coming back on the 20th to do a fight camp with a whole bunch of guys. So we'll have, anywhere from, I say, little as 12 to 20 Eagle guys. And one of my guys, Mo for my gyms, I'm bringing down to fight on UAE Warriors show on, I believe January 27th. I have Mo fighting his first pro fight.
Wow. That's cool. And Khabib, I know he wants to help. He always helps the guys and trains the guys and gets the guys ready and all that. But has he helped coach with you yet? Like, has he helped since his fight? Has he done any coaching, or is it more so just been kind of getting things done and getting ready to start helping the guys?
No, he's been coaching all along. Even for when he was getting ready for his fight, he was helping me coach. He's a natural born leader. I mean, he's taken over his father's role. So no, he's always been coaching, always.
I was going to ask you, because there's a lot of guys that are fighters that are really good and not good coaches, and then good coaches that aren't as good fighters, and then sometimes they're both good fighters and good coaches. I was going to ask you, overall, how is Khabib as a coach?
If he devotes his time to coaching, he's going to be one of the great ones.
Yeah.
If he devotes his time. I don't know if his time will permit it. Man, you cannot achieve greatness in coaching if you do it half-assed.
Right.
If he does it half-assed, he'll be good. He does it like his father did, he'll be like his father.
Yeah. It seems like he has a lot of care, and that's super important because he's helping guys that he really cares about. It's not like he's got just so many random people, Like some coaches just have to deal with random people all the time that they don't really know, and they have to get to know them and all that, and then they get burned and bitter, and then they have to trust another guy that comes in the door. It seems like he has, he's coaching his family.
Yeah, he is 100%. And hey, man, he's gotten almost every one of those guys sponsored.
Yeah,
he has got guy sponsored. He went out of his way. These guys are all making an income, and who does that? I don't know one fighter. I can't recall one fighter. I don't know one fighter that's not generous with what he's done for his guys. I don't know one individual. I can't recall one.
Yeah,
I can tell you, Cormier's a super nice guy. As great as they come, niceness. I've never seen anybody like him either. But Khabib kind of trumps him.
Yeah.
If that's an indication, and if people knew Daniel Cormier, you go, oh my God, Daniel, such a giving person. Yeah. He is too.
Absolutely. What has Khabib been up to? What's he been doing since the fight? Like, has he been doing like appearances and traveling around, or just relaxing, or?
No, he's always been busy, bro. He's been training the guys. He sends me video of training the guys. He's been doing business things that his father would have wanted to do, and taking care of his family, spending time with his family. He's got a newborn, and the newborn is going to be 1 year old, I think, coming up. So, he's got 3 beautiful kids, and he's a family guy. And then also spending time in the mountains with his mom and wherever he can. I saw video of him in the mountains. They have like three different places he goes, the mountains, then the mountain village, which is the higher mountain, and then you got Maxicala, which is the main city where he lives. So they all have homes in all those areas, and he spends different times there. So I never really know exactly where he's at, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people don't. So he's coaching the guys there, in other words, until he shows up today to Dubai. He was coaching the guys in Dagestan, like just helping out the team and everything.
Yeah, the guys that are fighting this Friday, he's been coaching, or not me. I have not been coaching these guys. I only work with them 4 days. That's it. So that's not coaching. You're not going to train somebody 4 days ago. Yeah, I trained them for. No, I didn't. I just held the pads for them. I didn't watch their sparring or none of that, because they're done. When they came in, they're ready to go. They really didn't even have to be worked by me at all. All they needed was just basically they just have to make the weight. They don't need any coaching from me. Just make the weight and fight.
Yeah. Everything's been so cryptic about his retirement speech and all this, and then coming back, and then people don't understand how all of us didn't know. And like even Ali, who's so close to him, admitted, in multiple interviews that he didn't know. It's like what Khabib said in that octagon, I think almost nobody knew, like what he said. And then since then it's been so cryptic. And then now he just made a post saying that I'll see you soon, Dana White, which is also cryptic. So now I think that everyone's just kind of wondering, but it's like he's such a cryptic person. Even the people closest to him sometimes don't quite know really what's going on, because he keeps everything so on the down low.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know that he was going to do that, and I thought it was. If you ask me, it was very emotional for him, extremely emotional, and it may have been emotions. I don't know. I'm not going to discuss it with him. That's between him and his mother and his real family. I'm just a coach. If he wants to discuss it with me, I'll talk to him about it. But as far as I'm concerned, that's a family matter, and things that you and I know. When you test for USADA, you're still in the system.
Yeah,
you're not retired. You're still in the system. So he just tested, and like you said, the cryptic message that he left. Who knows what that means? That's 100%. I can tell you this: it doesn't mean he's out. That's 100. But what it does mean, so he's not out. But I don't know anything else, and I'm not going to ask him. It's not my business. Not.
Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I mean, definitely, yeah, he's definitely not retired because he's still the champ. He's holding the belt. And he's in USADA. So, I mean, the one thing that's confirmed is he's not retired. Now, he may retire tomorrow. He may retire next week. But right now, he's not retired. And he's also talking to Dana, which could be anything. I mean, him and Dana could be working out any number of things. So, I'm curious myself what that could mean. I know he's definitely he's not going to sit there and lie and say, I'll see you soon, Dana, and then Dana responds and everything. So, there's definitely some talks about something, but I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, Khabib doesn't lie. So whatever it is, only him and Dana know, or him, Ali and Dana know, because I sure as heck don't know. Yeah. And you know what? I never knew anyway. So it's not like, oh, this is the first time he didn't let me in. I was like, man, he's always done this since 2012. I never know what's going on. And you know what? Why all of a sudden should I be knowing what's going on when I didn't know then?
Yeah.
It's the same. Coach, I have a fight. Okay, let's get ready. Boom. All right, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, we're doing that. I mean, we did a little short film documentary where you watched this last show. and we show the filming of what happened. We show there's the thing where he broke his foot. There's video of me coaching him, me instructing him on the game plan, everything that he did in that fight. We have a video of it was being filmed on how we were discussing strategy and et cetera, et cetera. So it's actually going to be pretty cool to watch after everything on how it unfolded. Yeah. We got the snake scene. We got me talking about, remember, it's not my idea. I'm acting like I'm not the guilty one.
I was going to mention that,
yeah. The film guy and pointing to Omar saying it's your guys' idea. But realistically, I'm the idiot that allowed it to happen. And the what ended up happening with Movlid, he's got an indent on his head with Khabib's teeth from that incident with the snake. I'm like, man, I cannot believe I am. I was like, what the hell am I doing? I mean, I allowed this to happen. Very stupid. Nobody else's fault but mine, because I'm the head coach and I knew it was happening and I proved it without saying, hey, we got to get ready. Khabib's afraid of animals. Do not do this. And even say it on the damn video. I talk about how he's going to run like crazy. Yeah. And here I am still doing it. I'm like, oh my God. So coach of the year right here.
You just didn't expect him to run into somebody head first. Right before
I mean, when you listen to the video of me talking about it, you go, you stupid ass. You're right there saying he's going to be scared as hell. You're saying he's afraid of animals, which he is. And then here you are laughing about how fast he's going to run. And it happened exactly like that. But you didn't say nothing about what could happen. And that's my job, to think about what could have happened. Thank God the cheetah didn't come out. Oh, my gosh. That would have been horrible. We put the cheetah away.
Cheetah.
It was a cheetah coming. Cheetah coming too. Can you imagine that? What if I would have freaked out. The cheetah coming in. Oh, man. It was on the leash, but it doesn't matter. Who's going to be able to hold the cheetah back?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's going to hold it back? Be able to hold it back. If it wants to go, you ain't holding shit back. Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty stupid on again my part, and thank gosh we got over that, and everything went out well.
Yeah, and then just going back to the other part too, for the people that because I've seen the criticism of Khabib for why would he not tell his closest people if he was going to say something like that, or why would he, all these different things of why he kept that kind of down. But it's you got to also understand, nobody probably asked him if he was going to retire after that fight. So he never lied. I don't think anyone would have asked, hey, after this fight, are you going to retire? But you got to look from a fighter perspective like myself. I can understand, with all that pressure he had going into that fight, imagine how much more you would add if you started telling everybody you're going to retire in your camp, the people that's actually helping you and getting you ready. What if somebody trains you differently? What if somebody acts differently? What if somebody, in my mind, that would be, even if, and I'm sure he wasn't 100% sure when he said it in the first place, but you never know what could change. And in a fight like that, you don't want anything to change. You want to make everything seem as normal as possible. So I can understand why he might not want to tell the people that are the closest.
100%. It's ludicrous to think that he should have told me. Yeah. He should never have told me. If he was planning on doing that, he should have just did exactly what he did. But because the emotion of his father not being there. This is the first time his father wasn't there to give him advice, to talk to him at night. The comfort of his father, the person that grew him up, the person that was there for them, that started training them at 2 or 4 years old.
Yeah,
come on, I've only been there since 2012, and I don't live with the man. His father did. So to have someone as great as his father not there, that's a lot of pressure. And also, if he's going to tell me, let's say he was planning on retiring, and I don't know this because I'm never going to talk about it.
Right.
I would tell him, don't tell me, because then in my attitude, I might slip a gear here and go, well, he's going to be done anyways, and maybe I won't give him my best. Who knows? I don't know. I just know it was the right thing to do, and you're correct.
You're right.
As a fighter, with the emotions as you go through as a fighter. And as a coach, I'm glad he didn't tell me. I am super glad he didn't tell me. And I don't know if it's legit or not, because he was very emotional. So, this cryptic things you're talking about, it's hey, I'll see you soon, Dana. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I'm in USADA. We know what that means. 100% we know what that means. We know you didn't get your title taken away. We know what that means, right? But is he going to fight? Only he knows. And that's not my like I said, that's him and his mother and him and his immediate family to discuss, not me.
And to your credit on two different things. First of all, your honesty on that. Absolutely. I mean, you never know what it might change as you as a coach. I mean, and not only, it's not like you're purposely going to try and do anything to not train them as good or whatever, but it just, who knows what effect it could have to know somebody is going to possibly fight their last fight. It could be good or bad. And then number two, on that point, you could also be talking about it more. And maybe he doesn't want to talk about that. So like say he told you and then it comes up in conversation over the course of fight week or something and he doesn't want to talk about it. That's another issue he might be trying to avoid. And number three, I want to give you credit because for people who don't know, you've always been that guy. You've always been that coach that has given space to all of us and not tried to pry into our business so many times. Like even though we're like me and you are very, very close friends, you're one of my best friends in the whole world. But even through our career and when I was fighting, you're always good about, you can be close friends with somebody, but you know the line. And so many other coaches are still trying to dig in and find things out that are kind of in that family line, kind of in that personal space where it's like you can be a good coach and a good friend, but it doesn't mean you're a relative, like a father or a brother or something. And you've always been really good at that, keeping that line drawn and being as good of a friend as you can be, talking about what you need to talk about, but never pressuring to for curiosity's sake, like I see so many coaches doing.
Correct. Look, I'm not his father. I'm his friend. I love him, and he loves me. But I'm not his father. And it's not my job to be his father. It's my job to be his friend and his coach, and to be there for him when he needs me. If he needs me and he wants to talk to me, I'm there. Whatever he needs me for, I'm there. But I'm not his father. And I'm not his wife, and I'm not his mother, and I'm not his uncle. I'm his coach, and I'm doing what his coach is supposed to do: stand behind him, not push him in any direction. That's not my job, And even though we're tighter than coach friend, even though we are tighter than that, it's still not my job.
Right?
It's not.
That's what I respect.
I'm not stepping. But like I said, the facts are the facts. He tested with USADA. What does that mean? Well, you're not retired. He sent cryptic message to Dana. What does that mean? Well,
possibly not retired.
Dana didn't take his belt. What does that mean? Well, Dana didn't take his belt. That means he's still champion. So, and then we do know this, right? We do know he's retired. We do know he was very, very, very emotional. Okay, but whether it's going to stick or not, I don't know, and I'm not gonna pry into it. I'm not gonna pry into it. He'll never hear those words from me. Like, say, what are you really gonna do? Yeah. And it's not disrespectful. Some people are thinking it's disrespectful. They didn't talk to me. No, I'm so glad he didn't talk to me about it. And if it was to happen all over again, I would want it to happen the same way.
Absolutely. Yeah, and plus a lot of emotion probably came from the fight. I mean, like, he was fighting a very, very tough guy who could have possibly knocked him out, and he went through a ridiculously tough camp. So I'm sure he was very, very happy when that fight was over and he won, especially the way he did. So, I mean, that brings emotion too.
Yeah, we went through the worst training camp. Not as far as amenities, not as far as hospitality. We had the best of the best. Yeah. Nas Training Center, Ahmed and those guys, the Prince, man, they took care of us like nobody's business. Like, wow, you couldn't ask for this kind of treatment anywhere, But it's just that he came with the mumps. He got it from his kids. He gave it to all the guys. Yeah. All the guys. More Islam Makhachev got it at the very end there. Yeah, like months after, Islam got it right when he's going to fight RDA. He got the mumps that week. They all got it. The staph infection. And then one of the kids got COVID, but I was at the hospital, wasn't here. But man, yeah, it was just bad luck. But I say all that, but I'm telling you guys straight up, going into that fight, even if the camp was perfect and everything, training was perfect, I personally don't know if he could have been any better than he was. He was so ready for that fight, so it was not a concern anymore of whether, he didn't have a proper bullshit. He was ready to go. Yeah. He was ready to go, and even though he had all this hardship, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he trains all the time. Yeah, so he never takes time off. So even though this camp cost him a lot of time, the fact that he trains all the time, he was able to adapt fairly quick. So it's not like one of those guys that, 2 months on and 2 months off. No, he's never off. So it wasn't hard. So the finished product I got was an unbelievable finished product. He smashed his sparring partner so bad. I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could have made this guy better, even if he was healthy throughout the whole camp. So forget that part. It's just it was weird that we had that. But as far as being ready for the fight, no, he was ready for the fight.
Yeah.
And the key words when he said, "Coach, my toe may be broken, but my mind is not." Well, there you go.
Yeah. And I'm not in no way at all even close comparing myself to him, but that means something when you've done something for so long. Like people ask me, like, you know, when I post pictures of myself training, either pictures or video of myself training and what shape I'm in at my age and everything, people's all like, "Oh man, what are you doing? You know, you're taking all this stuff and you're doing this and you're doing that." And it's like, yeah, I've been also training since I was, 8 years old. I've been training for 35 years. So that has an effect. Yeah, I can get in shape fast. I have good genetics, and it's like, it's funny to me because people don't take that into consideration. They act like, and so for like what I'm trying to basically say is for him to be fighting since he was a kid, that has a huge effect on him being a great fighter all the time or being able to get ready at any given time. What you do your whole life has an effect on you.
No breaks.
People don't get it.
No breaks. No breaks. He trains. No breaks.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when he was retired, he wasn't retired. When he was down here, when was it? I forgot. He was here. We were training some of the guys. He was helping me with the guys, and he was training with them. He was training with them. He was training with them. He was training. He didn't take time off. He was training.
Yeah.
So it isn't one of those deals where I keep forgetting I've been here since September 7th in Dubai, and I forget how many times I've seen him come and go,
Yeah.
But even after his fight, he came back, and I forgot who it was we were training, but he was training, man. He was training with the guys, grappling with them and everything.
Would you say he's kind of like Cain in the way, like, I think Cain just has a naturally huge heart or something, but would you say he's kind of like Cain in the fact that no matter where he disappears to, when he comes back, it's almost like he didn't leave? Like Cain can go off for injury and come back and then just get a crazy workout in, and you're just like, what? Like, he's a heavyweight. Like, how is he even getting through his workout after not training for however long?
I think he's a little bit above Cain in that regard because
Yeah.
I've seen Cain come back and was really not. Because Cain didn't do what Khabib did. Cain
Right.
would take months off. He would take months off.
But he has crazy ability to train hard.
Yeah, but the ability that Cain had, off the charts.
Yeah.
Off the charts. So I can't compare him only because ability-wise, Cain's ability was off the charts. Khabib never stopped training.
Just never stops, yeah.
Never stops.
Let me ask you one question real fast, just because you've been there for all of Khabib's wins and victories and all this stuff, and now you've been around him even more, being in Dubai and everything, and him going back and forth. Is there anything different about this win? Forget the retirement talk and what he's going to do next and all that stuff. Has he acted different in any way from this win as far as his lifestyle? Has he elevated his popularity, celebrity, like anything? Like, is there anything that's really changed from this fight significantly from previous fights that you know? Business, right?
He's so many business opportunities. His mind's working as a businessman now, and a very successful one at that. He's got Eagles Mobile.
Yeah, I saw that
coming out. Yeah, he's got Jacob's watch, Eagles watch with Jacob's watch coming out. He's doing his father's legacy shows with GFC. So he's doing a lot of business things that kind of go along with all the training he's still doing. So that's what I see. And then he's got that Fit-Ru vitamin or whatever things that he's doing. He's doing a lot of business more and being involved in business. I feel a little bit more than in the past. But even though back then when he was champ and before he was even champ, he still was doing business. But I do see a little bit more business activity from him. Yes.
Yeah, when I see him compared to someone like a Conor made a lot of money, but it seems like Conor has a lot of people to do a lot of stuff for him, and his demeanor isn't quite that of a businessman sometimes outside of the octagon. I see a huge difference in Khabib. Like, he's such a professional, serious kind of person who I can tell is striving and will strive in business as much as fighting as that time comes. I can just sense it.
Yeah, he'll be successful in anything he does in business because, number one, he's very popular, immensely popular. People love him, and he stuck to his roots. He sticks to the ground, and he stays humble. He stays loyal, and he stays. His religion is holds him down. It holds him down, keeps him on what he's supposed to be doing, and he's doing exactly that.
Absolutely. Let me ask you, so I know you've been there a bunch of times, Dagestan, and I know he's given you a ton of things. It might be a hard question to answer, but can you think of any specific special gift he's ever given you that was interesting? Because we've had guys come in from Dagestan to AK Thailand multiple times, and they bring me like these big knives that are like carved and like designs all in them from Dagestan and stuff. So I'm just wondering, has Khabib ever given you something that's like just special or unique or something that just stands out that you could talk about? Or there's probably so many different things over the course of.
No.
The
one that did do that was Islam. Islam Makachev gave me something really cool. He gave me a big-ass knife.
Yeah.
He brought me a knife about 2 years ago. Islam. Khabib, no. Khabib. I mean, he gave me Eagles perfume.
Yeah, they have perfume?
Eagles perfume. He has a Eagles cologne. Sorry, Eagles cologne.
Yeah.
Khabib has Eagles cologne. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's it. He hasn't done nothing. No. Islam did that. Islam got me some pretty cool stuff.
I don't know how they bring these knives around. Like they come to Thailand and they got these big knives and they bring them to my office. And I'm like, how the hell did you get in the country with this freaking machete knife?
They have the license on them, on the knives. It has things that they're allowed to. I have it on mine. I didn't read it, but yeah, there's stuff on them.
All right, I want to get a couple breakdowns from you, Coach Javier, since we got some fights coming up here, and I want to get your thoughts or breakdown on. We'll start out with Conor versus Poirier, considering all the factors involved. Considering obviously it's a new time. Poirier, I think, has moved up quite a bit since the first time they fought. What's your thoughts on that fight?
Dustin's moved up quite a bit. He's gotten better on the striking, better everything all the way around. But so has Conor. So I don't know. I'm thinking we're going to see some of the same of last time. Just someone who's just being of a striker, that good of a precision striker, unless he loses it, But if he stays on track the way I've seen him, I see the same thing that happened last time, maybe a little harder, but if he stays sharp like I've seen him, precision striking, unless you can be taken down. He can be taken down. That's a whole different story. But Dustin is not known to be a takedown artist. So anything's possible because they're both some of the best ever.
Yeah.
But I favor Conor because of the precision striking. He's the best striker in the lightweight division history, and he might very well be one of the best strikers in all MMA history.
Yeah, he's very good, especially with his hands. And coming up this weekend, Derrick Lewis and Curtis Blaydes. Who are you picking in that fight? Who do you think is going to come away with a victory?
Well, if Curtis Blaydes fights his fight, Derrick Lewis is going to be ground and pounded.
Yeah,
it's just I don't see how Curtis is going to fight an enormous guy like hit Derrick and stand with him. That'd be foolish. If he just goes in, takes him down, it's a wrap.
Yeah, no, I agree with you with Blaydes. I think he's got a lot of momentum right now. He's won 8 of his last 9 fights, and I think he's just got a lot of momentum.
Ngannou, if I'm not correct, right? Ngannou's only lost.
I think he lost to Ngannou, and I think Lewis beat Ngannou, oddly enough, even though, Blaydes is on such a better win streak right now.
One lost what he had, and then, there was no takedown. Ngannou's not a takedown artist. He's the hardest hitting heavyweight of all time. And he's fast as hell, and confident as hell again. I don't know. He's a wrecking machine. I don't know the challenges that are going to be for him. It's going to be very difficult unless you take him off his feet. Standing with him is going to be a very bad thing for anybody. He's a phenomenal striker with incredible power and speed, man. He's interesting to watch because, one punch and you're out, it's one punch, you're out. But if you can take him to the ground, But I'm sure he's better now, but that's still the area of weakness is the ground. But not that I know if it's still super weak. I just know that's the area of weakness. I know his stand-up isn't weak at all. It's super strong because he hits hard and he's very fast.
And even though Blaydes lost to Ngannou and then Lewis beat Ngannou, Lewis lost to Dos Santos and Blaydes beat Dos Santos. So it's kind of interesting how that dynamic works out. So, I mean, they're past fights. And like I said, the momentum is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the most recent fights. And I just think Blaydes is just on such a good tear right now that, like you said, I agree. He can get him down, pound him out, or put that pressure on him.
Yeah, put pressure on him, not let him strike. If he puts the pressure on him and not let him strike, it'd be hard for Lewis to get off and get him tired. Lewis is a big boy.
Yeah, he's big.
He's a fan favorite for damn sure. I bet you the vast majority of the fans want Lewis to win. He's a fan favorite. I like watching him fight. I
like him both too.
He's fun to watch. He's fun to watch. He's real. He's real. He's a real guy. He's a real fighter. He's real. He's not this phony guy. He's real. And Blaydes is too. But one is more entertaining than the other. And Lewis has got the fan base. He's more entertaining.
And then Ferguson, Oliveira. Do you think that's a good matchup? And then who are you picking in that match?
That's a great matchup, and Oliveira is underrated.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised on that one, man. He's underrated, and he's hungry. And Oliveira is probably sick and tired of people bypassing him because he's really that good.
Yeah.
So better be ready because this kid is the real deal, man. He ain't no joke. He ain't no joke at all. Stand up, ground, you name it.
Yeah.
He's got it all. So Tony better not have the same kind of performance he did against Justin because it won't go good for him if he does.
Yeah, and Oliveira's also got that win streak too, so he's got momentum. And then we got Ferguson coming off his first loss in 12 fights, so you know how that is. It can be good or it can be bad. You never know how that's going to be. So that's an interesting dynamic considering Charles is so good and also coming off of 7 wins, which makes it even better. And then also fighting a guy who is very good, obviously was on a 12-fight win streak, but he's coming off of a loss right now. So that could be effective in some way or another. So it's interesting. I think that's a very interesting fight.
It is. Tony can't be the Tony that showed up against Justin. That's all I know. If Tony shows up the way I think he should, then I favor Tony, But if he doesn't, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. He can't, but this is a different circumstance. He's not cutting weight back to back like he did last time.
Yeah.
And hope he realizes that was a big mistake on his part. And he's a great fighter, man. He is a great fighter. And sometimes as a great fighter, you make mistakes and you have to have someone tell you, hey, don't do that shit. Don't you ever do that, but he was able to control his own destiny on that one. And I think it cost him personally. I really do. I think it cost him. But we'll see how he shows up, how motivated. Look at Mike Perry. He comes across like a barn burner all the time. And you go, wow, look at this guy. And all of a sudden, this fight here, he doesn't even make weight, and
5 pounds almost.
He sends his opponent, I guess, pictures of pizza and things like that, So how serious was he into the fight? I don't know. I didn't see the fight. But you can imagine with those kind of antics, I mean, what was he trying to do? He was trying to, I don't know. What are you trying to do? Scare your opponent? I don't know. You didn't make weight, so I don't know. I don't know.
I was watching a lot of his Instagram leading up to the fight and he was making a big emphasis about food, like more so like his girlfriend eating a lot of bad food and him having to eat healthy. But then he was still showing like food was a big part of his whole thing on fight week, saying how big he is and how he's trying to stay away from food. And then I saw these tweets, and I don't even use Twitter that much, but I saw these tweets popping up, and it was him trying to make weight. And he was like, I'm just going to give up. I don't even want to do this. Like, this is bullshit kind of stuff. And I'm thinking like, okay, so now I understand. He's been playing a game. This whole fight week, he's been trying to play like he's big, and he's showing all this food. Now he's pretending like he can't make weight, and he's doing all these tweets to throw everybody off, and then he's going to show up and make weight and be the hero. That's what I thought was going to happen. Then I read it was 5 pounds off almost.
He actually was being truthful. He actually was being truthful. He actually, I think he was fighting the weight more than he was his opponent. And I think the mentality of going in that situation, I think it hurt him. I don't think you saw the best Mike Perry you could have seen, because he was in a struggle with weight. And and I understand that food is it's an addiction for people like myself that love it.
Yeah.
And I wish I hated food.
I see your Instagram.
If I hated food, it was so easy. But when you love food, and I love food too, it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle. So I can easily see him struggling with the food, and that being the biggest issue. Not the training, not the fighting, the food, and staying away from it. A lot of people that are in that situation where they love food like I love food, they know. The people that don't really care for food and can care less, and there is some of those, like you, you're fine. But people like me, no, we like it's our last meal.
What's your take on that as a coach? Because, I don't think there's any excuse to not make weight by 4.5 pounds when you're a fighter. That's just being, and I've had him on the show. I like Mike Perry as a fighter. I think I like his mentality as a fighter, being a fighter's fighter. I had a great podcast with him, but I don't agree with the not making weight of that much. I think that's too much. I don't think that's like a small problem. I think that's a big, big problem that he probably didn't have the right people around him, which could be because they didn't want to be. But what is your take on, here's two things I've heard. Obviously, Stylebender said, if you don't make weight, you should get 10% of your fight purse, and then that way it incentivizes you to make weight. And then John Anik, I heard John Anik say you should be fighting for a no contest and not a win if you don't make weight. I don't really agree with both of them. Like my take is I think you should get your show money, and that's it. I think so. It's 50% off. I think you should the maximum get your show money, because if you get 10%, you're just not going to fight, and then the UFC is going to lose a fight, and then you're going to cancel because you're going to not want to fight for 10%, and then they're going to have more problems. I think you should get like max 50%, or just get 50%. So your show money. But then if you win, you win. And I think you should be able to get a legitimate win, only because if your opponent agrees to the fight, it's a fight, just like a catch fight or something. So I don't think it should be a no contest. I think if they both agree and you win, then you win. But I do think that you should only get your show money. I don't think you should get your win money if you miss weight, because that is part of the job. That's my opinion. What's your opinion?
Well, my opinion, based on the fact that they're both ready to fight, and just because one didn't make the weight, I would say what the commission does: take 20%, give it to the fighter. Give the money to the fighter, and hey, look, the fighter that made weight, he has an option.
Yeah,
don't fight him. Don't fight him. Don't fight. But if you're ready to fight, realistically, come on, man. How much is? Really? What did Mike Perry fight at? Did he fight at heavyweight, and all of a sudden he's trying to come down to welterweight? He always, that's where he fought. And that's where he's been fighting. So it's not, to me, it's not as big a deal if they've both been training at that weight, And then on the flip side, if the guy's never been there, and think how weak he's going to be trying to make that weight, so that's going to be. There's so many variables, but I don't think 10% I think that's definitely ridiculous, because number one, I would tell you, F you. I ain't fighting. I'm not fighting. So there you go. Now you don't have a fight. Okay, kick me out of the UFC. Okay, I deserve it. I didn't make weight, kick me out. But what about that poor guy that was ready to fight and would fight you no matter what weight you're at? And he needed that money, and he got no money now. What about him?
He loses his win money.
So that's why I agree with the commission routine of just, hey, give him 20, 30% of the purse. Hell, even if they go 50% of his purse, give it to the fighter that made weight. But to make it, 10%, no way. I don't know too many fighters that would do it. Even as a coach, I would tell them, screw it. Don't fight for 10%. I would. I would say, don't do it. And then next time, dumbass, make the weight. Yeah. It's your fault.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't let him fight for 10%.
Yeah.
And even as a coach, think about this. 10%. The coach gets percentage of 10%. Think what his motivation is and the corner motivation. Yeah. They're like, screw that. I get nothing for this, dude. I'm going home. So no one's going to want to fight. No, I'm sorry. I think, leave it the way it is. The UFC's got a good model. Hey, if you don't make weight once, you don't make weight twice, they kind of make you go up in weight, or they'll cut your ass. So I think the UFC has got a model that works. And I think you're always going to have people missing weight. I think if anything, they should add a weight division, but that crowds it up some. But I think the UFC's model works. I really do.
Yeah. I think in Mike Perry's situation, I think it really showcases how tough it is for fighters to make weight, because I think Mike Perry alienated himself to where he doesn't have a good team around him like he used to. He has his girlfriend in his corner. He probably doesn't have the right coaches and the right nutritionists and stuff. And that shows you when you don't have those people, 4.5 pounds, that's what happens.
He's his own captain. He's his own captain. He's his own.
You need that help.
First. He's his own everything, he does everything, and that's the way he wants to go, but that's not the way to become a champion. I've never seen a champion in the history of fighting sports that did it on his own. Sorry, just doesn't happen. Never happened. And not saying it can't happen, it just never has.
Yeah. And then if you lose the fight like he did, that's even worse, because if the UFC doesn't like you missing weight, especially by 5 pounds almost. And then if you lose, you're in more trouble. So it's like, that shows you got to have the right people around you. You got to have the right people taking care of you and making sure that you make these things happen, I think.
Yeah, but even sometimes when you have the right people around you, you don't make weight anyways. You have a food fight, It looks like, I don't think he personally didn't try to make the weight. I just think he was fighting the food.
Yeah.
It was at the food got to him and a lot of distractions, and he is a star. He really is. He's not a major star, but he's a star.
Yeah.
He's a celebrity. So there's a lot of pressure on a guy like him, and him doing his own shows and people saying, "Hey, how badass it is you do your own show." I mean, it probably makes a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
The last thing you want as a fighter going into a fight is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Khabib going into his fight, and I got wind about him that he was going to announce retirement? If I got wind of that, and all of a sudden I'm snooping in before the fight, hey, so is it true? Are you?
Yeah, it messes his head up.
Are you going to retire? Do you think Khabib needs that?
No. Yep.
He don't need that. Don't need that at all. So it's a lot of pressure, man. A lot of pressure. So you need to have someone that's going to make you feel strong and make you feel safe, and that's what good coaches do. Is they know what areas not to touch and when to leave you alone. They don't bug you. They let you do your thing. It's extremely important to have someone that knows what they're doing. So having somebody be the captain versus you being the captain of your own weight, of your own how you're gonna fight, instructions. And man, he took a lot on his plate, and a lot of people comment on how well he did with that. And yeah, it's all good and dandy, but at the end of the day, I think that got to him too. Yeah. Personally, I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong, but I think that had a lot to do with it too. Yeah, not having someone tell him get your ass out of bed or do that extra round, or lay off that round.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with it too. I think.
Yeah, it probably does. All right, guys, I got to thank our sponsors really fast. The first being Manscaped, the official trimmer of the UFC, and now the official trimmer of the Real Quick with Mike Swick podcast, and yours truly. Precision engineered tools for your family jewels. The best below-the-waist grooming product on the market by far. And now you can save 20% by entering code QUICK at checkout at manscaped.com, manscaped.com. Enter code QUICK. You get 20% off, free shipping right to your door. And they know that I sent you because you use the code. So you support the podcast. You get the best below-the-waist grooming products. It's a win-win for everyone. And as always, this podcast is brought to you by AK Thailand, the world's premier luxury training resort in Phuket, Thailand. And if you go to akthailand.com right now, you can save 30% off all group training. That's right, all group classes, a week to a year to 2 years, however much you want to book, and it's good anytime in the future. So you can book right now, save 30%. Then when the price goes back to normal here in the next month or two when the borders open, you had already saved that 30%, and you can use that same package anytime in the future. 2024, 2025, it doesn't even matter. You're in our system, you're locked in, you save that 30% for however far in the future you want to use it. If you have any questions, info@akthailand.com. We'll get back to you immediately. We have 5-star service, so don't worry about that. You can ask us about anything. When the borders are going to open, we will have the most updated information. Anything about the gym, anything about training, anything at all. So info@akthailand.com. If you're not familiar with the gym, here's our commercial.
What's up, everybody? I am here in Thailand. This is the first time I've ever been here. Been dying to come here for years. Mike Swick. He's one of the big reasons he's been trying to pull me down here. What he built down here, AKA Thailand, is incredible. There's people here from all over the world. You can train mixed martial arts here, jiu-jitsu. They have weightlifting, they have cardio, and obviously they have Muay Thai, boxing, everything. I'm telling you guys, I know everybody wants to go to Thailand because Thailand's so cool, but you can't come to Thailand without coming to AKA Thailand. Come on.
Have you heard from DC? How's he? I mean, he seems to be killing it, doing the analyst stuff, the podcast stuff. Have you heard from him? Any updates on, or is he just busy going from show to show? And it seems like he's working a lot doing that stuff.
No, last I heard from him is he texted me saying I was crazy for taking the vaccine shot over here in Dubai.
Oh, I wanted to ask you about that too.
You're taking that shot, you're nuts. And I'm like, I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. No one's ever offered it before. In the good old US of A, oh, we don't have the vaccine. It won't be ready to this. Well, damn, they've been vaccinating people since March.
Yeah.
Since March.
It's crazy.
So give me a F break.
Yeah.
Who has it? Who doesn't have it? It's these damn companies fighting each other for who's going to make the billions of dollars to sell the vaccine. And that's what we're really talking about. You know, does the vaccine work? I don't know yet. I mean, I took the shot. It appears to be well. I'm taking my final shot on the 28th of this month, this week coming up. And then 2 weeks after that, they'll check my blood to see if it took. So who knows? Maybe it doesn't take and I have to redo it again. But guess what? I'll redo it again, you know. But I took the shot, and millions of people have taken the shot from what I've been told. But over here, it's available. I don't know if it's available to everybody now, but I'm pretty sure it probably is because they've done the test run. But I've heard they've been shooting people since March of this year, and that's when they shut us down in March. So vaccine's been out there. It's just that certain countries weren't privy to getting it. That's all.
It's crazy. Yeah, and I was telling people about the agenda that this thing is probably based on. And now I found out from you, and I found out from other friends that have gotten the vaccine. And one of them is in Dubai, who's traveling around right now. And I'm like, wow, like, because that's not the first country.
This is what I got.
Yeah.
Yes. You read that? That's it right there.
And that's not the first country either. It's out there, and it's been out there, like you said, since March.
Right here.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then you get tracked. They have you sign in a phone application. So you sign in. I haven't done it yet. I haven't done my second one. When I do my second one, then I'll log in, and it's a tracking. They're going to be able to track you. So whether we like it or not, I know what's going to happen next. Everybody that wants to travel going to have to get vaccinated. Everybody that wants ID going to have to get vaccinated. Everybody wants to go to school has to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, we're sheep, we're cattle, we're whatever you want to say, but we have to go with the system. And I don't like what they do. I don't like the fact that one has it and the other one ain't selling to you because they hate you and you did this. And man, it's like, can't we just all get along and help each other, you know? And it is what it is. You know, we got something that I thought was man-made, and I could be wrong, but I think was man-made, and you know, they unleashed it, you know, and now we're all paying the price for it. But I think that you know, I would take the shot all over again if the king of Abu Dhabi took it first, and it shows on Instagram him doing it. Then we were asked, you know, a month after the fact that he did it already. If it's good enough for the kings, it's good enough for me.
Yeah, and like I said, I was telling people back in America, and they couldn't believe it. They thought I was lying that people were getting a vaccine for this, because it's like, you know, in America they're just so stumped that there's not a vaccine, and that it's all, you know, was on this presidency, and now they're coming out with these companies that are coming up with it finally and stuff, and it's been getting shot to people since March. Like, it's crazy to me. Like hundreds of millions of people have had this vaccine already, and it's like it's mind-boggling that's been under wraps. And then people are, you know, I know that they're going to track you, which I think is good, because then they'll know for sure if you actually had the vaccine or not. It's not like you faked it. You have the thing on your phone. You know, people will know you have the vaccine.
Well,
and
look,
people are.
We watch TV.
Yeah.
Everybody can track me on this thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know, we watch TV when crooks are running and they have a cell phone. What do? Smash their phone because they know they're being tracked. So guess what?
They can already track you.
We're being tracked. Yeah. They track us here. They listen to our messages. I mean, you know, you name it. I mean, there's no freedom of speech. There's no this. It's people that are in power controlling us. Like I said, whether I like it or don't like it, we're being controlled. And I either join in or fight. And if I fight, I lose. So guess what? Just follow what.
I've been watching these proceedings on YouTube with the Senate. Ted Cruz was actually grilling Dorsey, from the CEO of Twitter, and then I saw Zuckerberg being grilled by the senators because these big tech companies have so much power over people, and they're you know, the way that they're using their power is not the right way, and they're coming down on them now, like almost to a criminal standpoint because of how their operations are and how secret they are and how they're using our information or whatever. But to me, it's like, I get it. The only problem I have is this: if you have the ability, which they were proving that Facebook had a program called Tasks that they use, which Zuckerberg pretended maybe he didn't pretend, but he said he didn't know what it was or wasn't familiar with it, but then they showed it and then he did, or no, it was another one. I'm sorry, he was familiar with that one, but they were sharing information between companies they didn't even own, like within Google, Twitter, and Facebook, or 3 different companies owned by 3 different people, or groups of people, but. They were sharing information on people so that that's why when you Google something, like say hotels and you know, wherever, France or something, and then you go to Instagram and then a hotel pops up on your feed, you know, for France, and it's like, you know, get a discount, whatever. So my problem is, if they can do that and they can track people down so specifically to track down what they're looking at and where they're going and what they're doing and where they're at, why aren't they doing that for the criminals that are doing? Why is there still child pornography being distributed on the internet? Why is there still all these the terrorist organizations that are communicating via social media? Why are they allowing that, but they're not allowing? You know what I'm saying? Like, why that is the thing that bothers me. On the flip side of that,
it should bother you.
Yeah, because if they can control everything, but they're letting that slide, that's a huge problem. And on the flip side of that,
it's a protect. You're protected then. You're protected, but yet they break the freedom. They break the freedom of speech. They break all those other ones, but they protect that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem they're facing now.
Well, like, you know, I'm sick and tired of the news. I don't even watch the news. I won't watch the news. It's all bullshit. You know, you don't know who to believe. 100%. Fossey this, Fossey that. You know, I mean, hey, look, the bottom line is this. Whoever wins the presidency, I'm following the rules. These are the rules. I'm following them. I may not like them, but I'm following them. If for some reason Trump gets put back on board, I'm following his rules. I probably like his way better, but I'm following his rules. Who's ever in charge, I'm following the rules. I'm not gonna go against the rules. That's who they chose, regardless of how he got there. He's in power, and you know what? I'm too old to be fighting these guys. I'm not fighting none of these guys. I'm gonna follow the rules. Yeah. That's it, and live my life the best I can with what rules are given to me. You know, They changed the rules of the fight game. Well, guess what? They don't allow eye gouging anymore. They don't allow biting anymore. Well, adapt. You know, and I know it's not the same, and it's way different. You know, and immoral and everything and what they do. I'm just saying, for me, it's easier to just follow the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like I said, I agree with you on the other part as well, as far as being traced. My problem was, again, if they're going to use all these resources to make money from people, they should do it for also tracking criminals too. That's my case on that. The flip side is, how many people? There's 7 billion people in the world. Like, if you're The Rock, I would understand. Like, maybe they would, you know, your privacy. But it's like, if you're not like a super high end celebrity that's like super important in the world, or a president or world leader or something like that, how many people really care about like you and me and what we're doing on our WhatsApp or our Facebook? Like, does it really matter that Facebook knows what our DMs are and what we say to our friends? Like, I think some people go a little bit crazy thinking, like, you see these people that are just average, everyday Joes, working normal jobs, mid-America, whatever, and they're just freaking out because Facebook knows what their DMs are. And it's like, what the hell are you DMing that you're so concerned that they're going to bypass 320 other people, or 320 million other people to get to you, you know?
This might get me blocked again, but I'm going to tell you.
There goes my podcast. This podcast is about to get blocked from YouTube.
Let me explain to you what just happened to me. It's, Sean Merriman, which is a famous retired football linebacker. He posted this in a country like America. If you do this to a dog, you go in prison, but yet it's okay to leave the homeless, out there. So I did a post, and my post was, the same post he did, but the only difference was I put, in a country as rich as America, we're either one or third in the world, I put, why can't our tax dollars please take care of our homeless? Because they're everywhere. They're everywhere. And look, some of them choose to be there. Yes, I understand, but not all of them choose to be there. And what is being done with our tax dollars that it can't be helped? Well, I did that post, boom, restricted.
Wow.
They restricted me. I could not talk to nobody. I could not do nothing. And they banned me for 4 days, And then I did. Someone DM'd me, and I DM'd them that I got banned because I talked about the homeless. And guess what happened? Bam! They got me again. So not only did they get me on freedom of speech, they also got me in my own DM, my own private DM.
Yeah.
They got me on that too, and they fired me again. So
that's crazy.
What does that teach me? Well, I like Instagram. I'm going to follow the rules. They don't want me to talk about legal shit. I don't need to be talking about it either. So I'm moving on, but they put a ban on me. They restricted me. I was able to look at stuff, but I couldn't interact with anybody. I can look at I can post, but I couldn't interact with anybody. I couldn't contact anybody or anything,
it's crazy.
I couldn't look at their profiles. Couldn't respond to my messages because they weren't pulling up. So no freedom of speech, buddy, because Instagram did it to me. I have the thing. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have it too. So people like me, people like you, and a normal citizen, we get it.
Yeah.
We get it. Imagine that. So hey, it is what it is. So Zuckerberg, suck it. Whatever you got to go through, you probably deserve.
There's going to be something that's going to happen because, like I said, that was the whole point of these proceedings with Ted Cruz and stuff, is he was attacking the same thing, saying, and the funny thing is Dorsey and Zuckerberg both would not say under oath that they would hand over the information that they requested. It was always like, well, we'll get with you afterwards, and because we'll see what our teams will do. It was like, sir, under oath, will you agree to hand over this documentation stating how many accounts have been banned that were for voter fraud or Democrats or whatever the case, and they both of them refused to hand over under oath. And the point of it was they're not, they're being very cryptic, and these tech companies are going to get in trouble for that because they're saying what they feel is inappropriate and banning like you for what you said or whatever. And they're not experts themselves on it. So it's like you can't have free speech and then have these tech companies run the media and then not allow free speech. You know what I mean? Like they can't come in there. That's what free speech is. You're supposed to have it regardless of what platform you're on. And they're not doing that. They're deciding who's committing voter fraud, who's saying the wrong things.
Yeah. What harm did I do? I just asked, how come our tax dollars can't be used to help our homeless in America?
Crazy.
Not all over the world, in America. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
crazy. How sad is it that you drive to the freeway and you see all these poor homeless everywhere? Come on, man. You're not going to tell me all these people are drug dealers in there and they choose to be there. Bullshit. Some of them are there because of the job situation. Some are there because they didn't get the help they needed, and our tax dollars aren't going for that. What are they going for? Shouldn't it be a priority? It's like, it's sad, and then the bad for me is the homeless, believe it or not, and my gym, they've broken my windows countless of times. Countless of times they break my windows, and I have to come in, $1,000 here, $1,000 there, and always fear for they're coming in and, stealing your stuff and breaking your stuff. And then what about they're sleeping right outside your building and you tell them they can't be there, but they don't care. And then police will come and then they ask them to leave, but then they come back because they don't care if they go to jail because what do they have? They have nothing, and we still don't take care of our homeless. It's bullshit, and you know what? I guess because you brought it up, I wasn't going to say nothing, but I'm probably going to get banned on Instagram again for saying this, but if it is, it is. It is what it is. Go ahead and ban me again. Maybe I'll get a lawyer and I can talk to Zuckerberg and go, why'd you ban me for saying things about the homeless and how our tax dollars should take care of them? Why? You know,
It doesn't make any sense.
Isn't that what America should be, taking care of our own people? You know, what's wrong with taking care of the homeless? You know, and the needy. You know, what's next? Next time I say, hey, we should go after these child pornographer people and trafficking, and you ban me for that too. You know, shit.
It's amazing they can't catch those guys. It's amazing they're still child porn, but yet they know exactly what every other American is searching for on the internet and sending and giving. It's unbelievable to me that they can't catch these other guys that are distributing illegal stuff. It's mind-boggling.
You know they can, because if you watch, there was a series about this incredible genius guy that they would go after a lot of these people that do wrong, and one of them was a sex trafficker because he was able to hack into his system. And you know they can. If they really want you, they get you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But the rights, the amendment rights protect them. That's why. But I'm saying is, what you're saying is, well, where was my amendment rights when someone restricted my ability to say, take care of our homeless?
Yeah.
You know, where was my rights on that? You know, I didn't have a right to my opinion? Apparently not. So I'll say it on YouTube, on your channel, but I hope you don't get banned too. If you do, blame me, or cut it out. Don't put it in, because they'll get you.
We'll have to watch the whole episode to get to it. We won't put it in the timestamps. But on a lighter note, really fast, before we go, I got to ask you, because you were living the life of a prince over there almost. Like, geez, Hav, like, what's going on? Like, I'm dying here, being stuck on this island, watching all your videos and pictures that you're sending me. So tell me a little bit about how you are, how you're doing over there and suffering in poor Dubai with your buddies.
Yeah, I'm suffering while everybody else is doing what they're doing. I've been treated to just about every dinner, from different type of people, very super nice people. I've been on the 50th largest yacht in the world that was like bigger than a football field, nine floors up. I've been falcon hunting 2 times out in the desert, you know, jet skiing. I mean, I get to work out in the greatest facility in the world, NAS. You know, it's a private gym. I get to see all these animals, exotic animals, and you know, I went to go look at 400 dogs. There's like 665 people watch 400 dogs that personally take care of these dogs. A lot of them are racing dogs, greyhounds, but a lot of them are just pets. And it was awesome petting with these monster dogs. And dude, it's pretty cool, man. There's a lot of exotic cars everywhere. And the weather's beautiful, 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 beautiful. It's the best weather since I've been here. September 7th, it's a little bit hot, but not that hot, very, very bearable. And man, but now it's perfect. It's just a beautiful weather. I've been here, and I'll be here till January, the end of January. And man, it's incredible.
Yeah,
incredible.
I don't blame you.
Incredible hospitality, incredible people. Man, if people have never been to Dubai, make a trip to Dubai when COVID's finished, or while COVID is, because Dubai's still open.
Did you ever think when you were when I was coming up during my career, and you were coaching everybody, that you'd be one day hanging out with sheiks and princes and billionaires in Dubai and doing all these crazy things that you're doing today?
No, never.
Unexpected.
Never. And you know, and it's still cool if I don't hang out with them. I'm cool with just the regular person.
Right, of course.
I like the drivers. I make friends with everybody. So just being in Dubai, bro, forget all that other stuff. That I've never been that guy anyways. So being cool with cool people, that's enough for me, you know. So I don't look forward to, I get to do this. Nah, I don't care. I can just hang out with the cool people here and be out in nice weather, and we're not shut down over here. So that to me is great, you know. So that's enough. I don't need any of the other stuff, you know. But watching the things I did like was the dogs. I will admit, going to when they had all those dogs and watching them, and that was because you could tell the dogs were loved. They were taken care of. And when they let them out, you know, they let them out every day to walk, and they walk them, they exercise them. But when they let them out, I played with them, and man, it was on my Instagram. You can see me playing with these 2 big old giant dogs. Yeah. You know, I'd never seen these dogs before. They're so fun, so much fun. You know, it's great, but you know, just being in Dubai with the weather and the people, that's great itself.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to see some very interesting stuff, go to AK Hav at AK Hav on Instagram. He posts everything. But the other thing is like the guys, even though they're so high up and so important or whatever, they're so genuine. Like Omar, your friend Omar, and all these people that I'm kind of meeting through you, through Instagram and through videos and talking between you guys, just on the phone and stuff. But they seem so genuine and loyal and just like good people. Like it's not like they're just caught up in their business lives and they don't care about other stuff. Like they just seem like such good people to hang out with too.
Yeah, no, hospitality is number one with these guys, and loyalty goes along with that. And if you're a nice person and they invite you as a guest, man, they go out of their way to treat you right. And it's in status. Over here, it's not like in the States. The older you are, the bigger status you have with them, and the more they take care of you. Whereas in the States, the older you got, the more there's a rest home ready waiting for you. Not over here. The older you are, the more respected you are.
Yeah.
Which it would be kind of nice that if America went back to the way it used to be, where they respected their elders and they took care of their family, and they don't send them off to care homes and stuff, and just take care of your family,
Yeah.
That'd be cool, but unfortunately that ain't going to happen.
All right. Well, lastly, on a good note here, do you get Netflix there? Are you still watching Netflix?
Yeah.
What's a good show? Because you always tell me the good shows.
Yeah. The last one I watched was the chess game with that chess whiz girl.
Oh,
she
yeah.
was an orphan.
Gamblet, the Queen's Gamblet or something.
Yeah. Gamblet. Yeah. I watched that. That was really cool. I actually met the guy that was the president of the chess club here.
Oh, wow.
I met the guy, and this guy, wow, he was amazing. He had played Bobby Fischer.
Oh, yeah.
4 times.
I know who that is. Yeah.
Played Bobby Fischer. He lost 4 times, but even though he played Bobby Fischer and lost 4 times, he's actually beat one of the greatest chess players too. That's in the top 5. Bobby Fischer is, I think, number 5 or 4. This guy actually beat the number 3 guy.
Oh, wow.
And then the all-time. So this guy is one of the greatest chess players of all time. He was the president of his own country for 17 years. He played chess with the Pope, Henry Kissinger, Dalai Lama, Gaddafi, president of South Korea, Putin, you name it. He showed me pictures of all these guys. I was just like a kid. I was like, wow.
It's crazy.
And I asked him, hey, how many people did you ever play at one time playing chess? He goes, I played 30. I go, wow, 30 people at one time? He goes, yeah. I go, how long did it take you to beat him? He goes, oh, not long.
Oh, yeah.
You think I was going to have to play chess? Hell no.
Because everybody's telling me the same thing about the shows being so amazing, but I'm just not that into chess. Would I still enjoy it, or do I have to really be into chess to enjoy this?
You don't have to, because they don't really show much about the chess.
So it's more dialogue than the chess?
Yeah. It's not so much they don't show you the moves and this and that. So it was just about story,
Okay.
It's not about, it is chess, but it's not, they don't show the instruction on how to play chess per se. It's a good series. You'll enjoy it,
Cool.
But everybody should learn to play chess. It's a thinker's game, And,
I can play. I just not that into it.
The brightest minds in the world come out of chess.
Yeah.
And this guy's goal is he's the president of the chess club worldwide. He has 600 million people have played chess, and his goal is to get 1 million.
Wow.
He's the most interesting guy I've ever met.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable guy. Yeah. Oh, he speaks 7 languages too.
Jeez. Wow. God. Yeah. I'm trying to learn just 2.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to learn 3. Well, 2. Well, I don't really speak Spanish that well, but I'm trying to learn Russian. I'm having a hard time, man.
I've been trying for 20 years. I'm still not fluent.
Speak Russian, man. I need to hire a tutor because it's so hard.
It's tough.
And these guys are talking around me, and it's always Russian, and I'm like, I catch a couple words here.
Yeah.
Man. It's hard. hard.
Well, Hav, thank you for taking the time out again for another podcast. See, we always have amazing podcasts, no matter how many that we do. It's good getting updates from you. I'm glad you're having fun over in Dubai, and keep sending me all the pictures and photos and videos and everything, because I'm living vicariously through you being stuck on this island until they finally open the borders. And I'm coming over to Dubai as soon as they let me, and I can get freed up and get home, see the family, and then get back, and everything's back up and running again. I'm gonna hop over.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Well, thanks for being on the show again, and I'm sure I'll bring you back on soon.
All right, buddy.
All right, take care.
Out.
All right, Javier Mendez. It's so cool to be able to have such a great podcast with such a good friend of mine, and we pretty much have podcasts every day, but we just film them every 2 weeks or so. But it's amazing what he's doing in Dubai. It's such an amazing place, and he is with the right people and having just the time of his life. So good to see that. I've seen him spend years just in the gym training people, listening to our bullshit and our all of this, problems and trying to fix our problems and help our fighting technique and just dealing with all that. And it's cool to see that he's enjoying himself a little bit now and having some fun in Dubai and hanging out with such really cool people, actually. So check out AKA Hav at AKA Hav on Instagram. He has a YouTube channel as well, and he's posting a lot of videos on there behind the scenes with him and Khabib and the team and the guys. So look him up on YouTube at Javier Mendez Podcast. I think you can type in Javier Mendez, but I'm pretty sure it's Javier Mendez Podcast. And he might have a different channel, but you can search, you can find it, and I have faith in you. And if you're following us on YouTube, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know anything, any feedback that you have. We love hearing the feedback, or I guess reading the feedback and responding back to you guys. We're on all the audio platforms, so you can listen to us anywhere they have podcasts. But as an incentive to our very loyal YouTube subscribers, we are going to start releasing the podcast, including this one being the first, early on YouTube. So we will release every podcast on YouTube first before we do the audio platforms, just to incentivize all you guys that's helped build this podcast and support it and left feedback and subscribed and just built us so fast. And we love the YouTube aspect of the podcast because you can see the conversation, you can see what we're doing. So expect at least 8 hours early on YouTube for all you guys that are listening. Maybe it's after we've released it by the time you listen to this on the audio platforms, but for the next one, we will always be releasing them on YouTube a little bit earlier. So thank you for the support. Stay tuned. We got some really cool podcasts coming up, and we'll talk to you soon.